Hello, Internet. Welcome to NerdChat. So, we are continuing Iron Man Thor God Complex. So, we're on issue 2, and we pick up right where we left off. So, Thor is still fighting Ulik, and it looks like Ulik has the upper hand, but Thor hits back hard. He says he doesn't know where Ulik got this strength from, but it's a mere novelty. It's not a game changer, as the Americans say. He then asks why he came to steal the Destroyer armor. Does he not understand its power? The enchanted metal subverts the will of even the strongest whodunit, and only a fool or a madman would even try to wear it. But another voice says, then call him a fool or a madman. Diablo stands before Thor, and Thor says he would sooner call him a trickster with his alchemical poisons. And Diablo says his poisons may perform wonders. He splashes something on the Destroyer armor, saying it will make the armor temporarily inert, long enough for him to steal it at least. Thor says nay, and begins to summon a storm, but Diablo says that he's the master of transmutation, throws something at Thor which causes his lightning to strike down on Thor himself and taking Thor out for a moment. As Thor gets up, he sees that so both Ulik, the armor, and Diablo are all gone. So elsewhere, with Iron Man, he wakes up and the High Evolutionary disables his armor, and it reverts back to basically shorts and a t-shirt. The High Evolutionary explains to Tony that they are in a conceptual environment, a place of learning and creation. Tony notes how it looks like the popular conception of heaven, and that had to have been done with no irony, he's sure. But the High Evolutionary explains it seemed fitting, considering he is trying to build a new god. He tells Tony the current pantheon of gods are outdated. They arose before mankind bloomed into a technologically sophisticated species. If the human condition is going to survive and develop, they need a new kind of god to show them the way. A god that combines divinity with science. He has made progress with his new men, but they lack that spark of godhood. And Tony notes how it seems that he started this process with the Crimson Dynamo, and he's doing more of it here, combining tech with arcane devices that Tony can't even begin to understand. He didn't expect this to be a part of the High Evolutionary skills, but the High Evolutionary says that he recruited some help, and a specialist in the subject of transmutation. One of the new men dies because some of the equipment malfunction, and Tony is unable to help. He tries to go and help, but he's held back. And he mentions how terrified all of the new men are of what this equipment represents, and the High Evolutionary says that they should be. Once they are done, they will be an experiment whose purpose has expired. And then he tells Tony that he is vital to the process because Iron Man is going to be the vessel for this new god. So quickly with Thor, he's trying to find a way to track Tony or the armor, anything, just to figure out what happened. But Volstagg explains a dragon like his own can help Thor. Volstagg's dragon is currently hurt, but there's more, there's more from, the litter that can help him. So, but back with Tony, Ulik and Diablo have returned with the Destroyer armor. Tony says the Destroyer isn't something to mess with, and the High Evolutionary replies, asking if anything that he's doing here gives off the impression that he's messing. The Destroyer is essential because it can draw transformative arcane powers and focus it into the heart of this technological crucible. Diablo says that he doesn't like Iron Man being unrestrained. He can't be trusted, but Tony says that he's more than just the High Evolutionary's best choice. He's a willing one. His whole life has been about embracing the future and what is best for it, and he knows when he's in the company of great minds. He's in. But we can see that Tony's armor has rebooted and is actively trying to get the restraining device off. Currently, Thor has arrived at the Smithsonian. He's looking for texts basically left behind by Diablo. He starts rifling through old books, and the panic guide, who is showing Thor where to go, asks Thor that not to touch any of the books, but when he runs to go get security when Thor isn't listening. So Thor finds what he's looking for, the Hermetica, somehow transmuted into the pages of a book. Energy begins to pour around it, or pour out of it. And Tony, on Tony's side of things, an alarm goes off, and they can see Thor trying to get into their space. So Crimson Dynamo goes off to fight Thor, and he comes through the book. Ulick complains that he should not fight Thor. He isn't a foe to underestimate, and he wants to go and help in the fight. And as he goes to, he's knocked down as Tony's restraining device falls to the ground. As Iron Man, now standing on top of Ulick, aims at the High Evolutionary, he says, "Let's start over. In the beginning, there was a word, and the word was stop. Stop this insanity now." And issue 2 ends. So there's 2 more issues of this, and so Tony was not gonna, he was just buying time. He was never gonna, actually try to become this new god. But it's not something that, like a younger Tony probably would have appealed to him a lot more. So it's not the craziest thought that he might have actually been interested for a moment, but it's pretty clear that he was just trying to buy time. So I hope that you guys enjoy what I've covered so far, and you'll come back for the other half. So like, comment, subscribe, all that noise. You can join my Discord if you want to recommend stories for me to cover or just talk to me about whatever. You're all welcome to do that. But until then, I'll talk to you all later, and thanks for stopping by. Bye.